are back, and we are giving you the Christmas edition of Laying Down the Law. That is, yes, a classic. Run DMC's Christmas in Hollis. And without further ado, we bring on former All-Pro safety for the Houston Texans, our man Marcus Coleman. Marcus, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and welcome back to Laying Down the Law.
Happy holidays, man. How y'all doing this morning?
We are well, sitting here with the athletic attorney Ryan Willett. Our man Jeff Blake spent the week with his son Emery up in St. Louis, so we're gonna give him the morning off. So we are just having our Christmas edition, man, and we're thankful that both Texas teams are more wins than losses, and looking for playoff berth. Tough game in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium or Field. The Houston Texans travel there today to play against Houston's Andrew Luck.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting game. Definitely going to be tough. I haven't won a game in Indianapolis yet. Under Mr. McNair's ownership, and it's Indianapolis is a tough place to play. Even when Peyton was there during the years when I had the opportunity to play for Houston, the crowd getting into it and having that home field advantage for the Colts has always been something that they've taken advantage of. And today is no different. It'll be hard going into Indy, and now you just have to deal with Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton, and not really a great defense, but a defense that plays team defense, and they do a good job of running to the football and making plays when they have to. So it'll be a tough game. It's doable, but a very tough game for Houston today.
Talking with Marcus Coleman. Marcus, what would you do? I mean, because you're a guy that played in the secondary, and certainly know that it's tough to play against a very good quarterback, a smart quarterback. What do you think that you would look at to do to go against that very high flying offense centered around Andrew Luck?
Losing for them, I think what helps everybody, especially Houston, is when they lost Ahmad Bradshaw. He was a key component of that offense, and whether it was running the ball or catching the ball out of the backfield, he was definitely one of the playmakers of that offense. So now they can focus a little bit more on T.Y. Hilton and Fleener, and try to put a little bit more pressure on Andrew Luck. The only thing you can do with T.Y. Hilton, he had a huge game against Houston last time. They need to be a little more physical with him at the line of scrimmage, using some press coverage. I wouldn't leave him by himself, not against Kareem or Abuye or Jonathan Joseph. I wouldn't leave them man to man by themselves, but I'd give him a little help over the top a little bit. Mix in some maybe a little cover three, something like that. Just kind of keep somebody around him at all times and make him continue to be active and not give him any clean looks. And you can get pressure up front, with the front four and the front seven. That's a good way to beat Andrew Luck. Now, even though teams have done that, he still found a way to win. With some of the plays that he's made, and but that's I think is the way that you attack him. You attack him right up the middle. Getting his face. Even though he's mobile, than most quarterbacks are, you still want to put that pressure on him to make him either get out of the pocket or step out of the pocket. Possibly if you have some games that you're running up front, that he'll run into one of your defenders, or he will be inaccurate throwing the ball while he's on the run, if you have that coverage. So that's how I would attack him. I wouldn't sit back and only give a 4-man rush or a 5-man rush and let him pick me apart. I would definitely, pressure him as much as I could. Maybe, once every 4 or 5 plays, I would definitely be sending an extra man or two, try to make him hurry his throws, try to throw their offense off rhythm, and just play the game that way.
Hey, Marcus, on the other side of the ball, looks like Andre Johnson's not going to play today. Who needs to step up for the Texans to kind of fill that void?
Well, DeVere Posey will get his first start of the year, and he's been active the entire year. I think that hurts him quite a bit, to be honest with you, because now, even though Hopkins has been more or less the guy this season, Indy can focus on Devin Hawkins, and you can go man-to-man with everybody else. There's no other real threat at wide receiver that Houston has. They don't use their tight ends that much. As I said, the Ripoli is getting his first start. Keyshawn Martin hasn't done a lot. So besides Andre and Hopkins, no one else has really done anything. So now, if you're Houston going into this game and your main focus or the thing that gets your offense going is the running game, they can, Indy can focus now on stopping Arian Foster, maybe having an extra man in the box, which could actually hurt Houston. So they're in a little bit of a pickle. To be honest with you, just not having another guy besides Hopkins that can catch the ball, down the field. And as I said, they don't use the tight ends that much. So it'll be tough for Houston if they don't get the running game going, or if they don't find, another guy or two where they can at least spread the ball around to where they get the same amount of catches that Andre will probably get or get the same production. If they don't do that, then I don't see them being successful in this game.
Talking with Marcus Coleman, former cornerback and safety, the Houston Texans. What about throwing the ball, Marcus, to your running back? Get Arian Foster more into the passing game. I know it's not necessarily always a check down. Send him the opposite way from Hopkins and get him in, coverage against a linebacker. He's a very good pass receiver. Can you maneuver through a game against the Colts defense that way and still be successful?
Yeah, I think you can. Whether it be sitting Foster on swing routes the other way, as you said, or in certain formations on certain plays, Arian to come out of the backfield running the wheel route, depending on who he's locked up with, whether it be a defensive end or a linebacker that can't run with him. So that goes back to, what I was saying earlier. They have to find other ways to get that production across the board in the passing game, whether it be 1 or 2 catches from the tight end, 3 or 4 or maybe 5 catches from Arian, 1 or 2 catches from Posey or Martin, whoever's going to play the other wide out. And then if you're able to get the ball into Hopkins, if he's not doubled, you definitely want to take your chances there. So this has to be a complete game across the board. Everybody has to contribute, and production has to be more or less equal this week because you don't have your 2 guys on the outside to where the running game is as easy as it normally is, when they're in. So I definitely agree with you. I would definitely use Arian Foster out of the backfield. Honestly, I would line Arian Foster in the slot every now and then. Make a linebacker walk out on him. And it doesn't even have to be any long routes, just, quick out or maybe something across the middle or if it is coming out of the backfield, maybe an angle route or some option routes to get that production, at least make Indianapolis be a little bit more honest, make them think about Arian coming out of the backfield, which in turn gives you a little bit more room to run the ball.
So, Marcus, as a DB, do you just salivate for games like this when you know their stars, their number one receiver is going to be out, quarterback's going to have to go to some inexperienced receivers, and you just think, okay, today's my day, I'm getting that pick 6?
You do, but that's kind of a bittersweet question, to be honest with you, because you always want to play a team when they're at full strength.
Okay.
Yeah, when you do get in and the second or third team guys are coming in, you had the opportunity to pad your stats.
Right.
So it's kind of bittersweet when you going into the game and either way. You want to go in and you still want to play well either way. But when the starters are in, the game may be a little bit easier for you, or you may have the opportunity to make 1 or 2 more plays than you would make if the starters were in as well.
Well, I'll say this, and I bet, Ryan, you don't know this, that Marcus holds the Texans record for the longest interception return.
Did not know
pick
that.
6,
Okay.
102 yards against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, tell us about that play. I want to hear about the 102 yards. Tell us about that play. What do you remember about that?
Oh, yeah. Kansas. I think we had just gone on offense, and Kansas City was driving down. And it was right before halftime.
Okay.
And they had it was Gonzalez, and I can't remember the other tight end's name. They were lined up, split out in a little stack formation, and they tried to do a switch route. Where Tony Gonzalez runs to the 7 route, runs to the corner. The other guy.
Were you in man or zone?
We were in man.
Okay.
They tried to rub you.
Okay.
And I'd actually, myself and actually Coach Fangio, Big Fangio, who was our D coordinator at that time, he and I both remembered that he brought the play in, and showed it to us. It was from like 2005 or 2006.
Wow.
That I'd actually remember the play, it was not 2005, 2002 or 2001. And I'd actually remember that play myself when I was in New York. I've seen Kansas City run it before. So I knew the play was coming.
Wait. So what year was this now?
The 2004 was the interception.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah,
all right, so it's a couple years back. Okay.
Right.
2004 was the interception. So about 3 or 4 years prior, that Kansas City had run that before. And I saw it in New York as well. They remember that play. So I knew Tony was going to the corner, and I backed up about a yard or two so I wouldn't get rubbed. And, as soon as the ball snapped, I honestly just took off to the corner, to be honest with you, before Tony was even going. And, the ball was coming, and, I picked it off, and, the rest is history. So.
All right, no, be honest. At what point in that return did that piano get on your back? And you said, oh, man, how many more yards I got to go? Because that's a long way.
No, you know what? I honestly wasn't thinking about it. I was running, and then once I got to, once I got around the 20 or 15-yard line, I thought I was home free, so I started slowing down.
Okay.
And actually, Priest Holmes was running up on my back, and I didn't even know it. And I was calling at the end.
You had to drag Priest into the end zone?
I almost gave it up to Priest in the end zone. I was like, okay, I didn't even see you back there. And
right.
He started laughing at me, but it was, I wasn't, as far as getting tired, I never really got tired of me.
Okay.
I'm a 400-meter guy, so that's.
Oh, okay,
100 yards, that's not a lot.
Well, listen, Marcus, we certainly appreciate your insight, and I know that others heard you throughout the high school football season as well here in town. You've been a friend to our man up in Austin, Norman Watkins, and so always a blast to get you on the show as well. So appreciate your time. Merry Christmas to you and happy holidays. We're going to come back on the 28th. So how can people follow you on Twitter as these bowl games and things go on and the Texans are playing?
Oh, yeah. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @PatchMC42, PATCHMC42. And, with the bowl games coming up, and if you see some soccer coming across my timeline, don't think you got the wrong guy. It is me. I'm a big soccer guy, so, you'll see some, whether it be British Premier League or some, the Italian Serie A soccer, you may see that come across the timeline early in the morning, but there's definitely going to be a lot of football, during these bowl games and things like that coming across. So hope all of y'all have a happy holiday and, good Christmas and spend time with your family, be thankful, and I guess I'll talk to y'all next time.
Absolutely, Marcus. Thank you so much.
Enjoyed it, Marcus. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, we look for a win today against the Colts. We're going to take a sidebar. We're going to come back with the AAU Focus on You Sports. Cannot forget about our man competing up in Dallas. That's right, the Texas All-Stars versus the Arkansas All-Stars right here on Laying Down the Law.